Oh, my mic wasn't okay. So I am Trina B. Welcome to Girl Let's Talk Atlanta Radio. So we have three beautiful guests with us today. Can you please introduce yourself, Miss Khaki?
Yes, I am Kathy Butler with Comfort in the Storm, and we provide child sex abuse prevention and awareness training. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook for daily prevention and awareness and support tips, and that is at Comfort in the Storm, all one word.
All right, awesome. Miss Ollie.
Hi, my name is Olivia Johnson. I'm currently a student at University of West Georgia. Um, I'm the president of NAACP at the UWG chapter, and my major is psychology, minor is sociology, and yeah, you can follow me at Palm Tree Ollie, PalmTreeOli.
All right, awesome. And Miss Deja.
Hi, my name is Jadasia Williams. I specialize in
Is
body
your mic on?
sculpting. Oh, no. Sorry about that. Hi, my name is Jadasia Williams. I specialize in body sculpting and butt vacuum and breast lift. I'm currently am in school. I'm not from here. I'm actually from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And I moved here by myself. So
All right.
you can add me on my business page at J underscore sculpt me and Facebook J Sculpt.
All right, awesome, awesome. Shout out to our sponsor today for today's show is Mother Hustler, the brand created by Mother Zelinka Boyd. She is the mother of three with a set of twins. Her brand is about her making moves as a mother, inspired mother hustler. You can check out the teas and her manifestation journals on her website, and you can find her on Instagram at Mother Hustler, not Mother Hustler. It is Mama Z and her three on Instagram. All right, so let's get into this. Now, you said you are from Ohio, right?
Cleveland.
Okay, how long have you been here?
Since December 2018.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Since December 18, 2018.
Or you can take it off if you want to.
Okay. I just figured it's fine.
Okay.
Yes, sis, I moved here in December of 2018.
Okay, what made you move here to Atlanta?
It was actually just a joke.
A joke?
I
Okay.
remember moving. I remember standing at my job at the cashier. I was a cashier, and I would always say, "I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm gonna move to Atlanta."
Uh-huh.
And then I actually moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
So, I said it was a joke, but it was like the best joke I could ever said because I love Atlanta.
Right,
There's a
right.
lot of opportunity out here.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And you say you do body sculpting? Okay, so how long have you been doing that?
Since January of this year.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. What made you get into body sculpting?
So body sculpting, I used to go to the massage parlor to do body sculpting, but they would charge me like out the roof. So I was like, I'm gonna do it on myself. And then I was so good at what I was doing, I was like, I'm gonna try it on somebody else. And then I did it, and it just went from there. So it just started out for me just wanting to get my body together.
Right.
And then I was just like, I'm gonna do everybody.
Okay, okay. Because I was looking, I was like, you know what? I'm not the one for surgery. Do it hurt?
It don't require surgery. It don't require any needles, any injections. It's just everything is. If you look at it, it's really like a deep massage.
And see, I see like the little suction cups and stuff. So I'm like, do it hurt? Like when you, because I see like on the butt or whatever. So I'm like, do it hurt? Like
It don't.
It don't.
Well, the suction, it don't hurt, but it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
I will say that because I don't want you to go in there blindfolded if you would want to do it, but it's uncomfortable. But it don't hurt.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right, Miss Olivia. So
Yes.
what year are you in your?
I'm a senior now, so I graduate in the semester next semester.
Okay,
Congratulations.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. What made you get into the major that you're in?
Well, I really want to learn how people behave and how they move and why they move a certain way. I feel like, because I want to be a marriage and family therapist, but if I don't become that, I want to become like a regular therapist just to help people with their problems, anxiety, anything like that. So that's what made me like go into that type of field, just to help people with their depression, anything of that sort. So yeah.
Okay. And what made you choose University of West Georgia?
Honestly, I just applied to a couple of schools, but they are one of the best schools for psychology in the country. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
that is a plus for me.
All right, awesome. Now, are you from Georgia?
I was born in Brooklyn,
Okay.
but I claim Clayton County. Yeah.
All right. Clayco.
Yeah, Clayco.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Kathy, I've talked to you on numerous occasions. It seems like every single time that we talk, I already know what you're going to say before it comes out of your mouth. But for those who don't know what it is that you do and the importance of what you do, can you please let them know?
Absolutely. We provide child sex abuse prevention and awareness training. And the reason we do this really stems from our own family experience. Our daughter revealed to us that she had been sexually abused by a family member. And at the time, we were completely devastated. We had no idea. We assumed that our children were just safe based on some of the basic safety protocols that we had put in place. We never expected that a family member would do something like that. And so as we began to journey through the healing process and also through the justice system, we realized that there was just so few resources out there for families and parents and even for survivors themselves. And so we became the change that we wanted to see. So my husband and I, we became certified advocates. We are now credentialed advocates, and we have made it our life's mission to make sure that we prevent child sex abuse wherever we possibly can. And we are doing it one family, one social media post, one training at a time.
All right. Awesome. I love it. And I think it's definitely important for different organizations and different people in the community to actually involve themselves in what's going on inside of families, households, and things like that. So you creating the organization and creating this plan to help individuals who are suffering with this, and not even those who are going through something like this. Her platform is it is like awareness as well. So it's making you be aware of what to look out for. And if you see something, not even in your family, a friend's family, or whatever, say something and, provide help or resources towards that family member to help them, because it can be like a mental, it really messes with your mental when something like that is going on and you don't have anybody to talk to and nobody trusts you and things like that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We want to make sure that if you see something, you say something, and also if you are experiencing it, that you get the help that you need. So you may tell one person, if they don't listen, tell somebody else, and keep telling until somebody listens and they make it stop.
Exactly.
Right. So, Deja, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 22.
Okay, yes.
A lot of people think I'm like 30 or something. 22. I just turned 22.
Okay, awesome. So what made you decide to kind of want to do your own thing, like become an entrepreneur?
To be honest, because I am so dependable, I didn't depend my whole life on other people. And I just kind of get out that habit of doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to do everything with other people, but then what I realized is people let you down.
Oh, yeah.
You don't let you down, so.
Facts, and that's something that I think everybody kind of continually learn. Like, nobody is going to be there for you like you're going to be there for you 100%. And you always can involve as many people as you want to, but at the end of the day, if they vision and their heart is not in it just as well as yours, then you want to see that same 100% output that you're looking forward to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how old are you?
I'm 21.
21? Oh, you're
Yeah.
so young.
Oh my
I'm so old. And see,
I
I'm
just turned
34,
21.
so I'm still young, but I'm not that young.
Yeah, I just turned 21 this year.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So, now, as far as, like, what do you do when the things that you want to make happen are not happening or flowing the way that you want it to flow? As far as, like, how do you stay focused in your troubling times?
The thing I would do is, honestly, I would lock into whatever I need to focus on. I would block out anything that's distracting me. I would basically just go into my room and just lock in and get down to it. Just like with homework, if I'm feeling like I'm off track, I would lock in, do my homework right then and there. Yeah, I would take a break probably if there's anything that's, if I feel overwhelmed with anything, I would take a break and watch like my favorite show or anything like that.
Okay. And you?
I actually will just stop and pray.
Okay.
And I know it sounds extremely cliche, but in this particular industry, in terms of just the topic that we talk about, it can
Right.
be a very dark topic. And you'll find oftentimes that a lot of people will really kind of shun away from it because they don't want to talk about it for a number of reasons. And so you start to question whether you're actually reaching people and, you know, are you really fulfilling the purpose that God has given to you? And so for me, when I start to feel those feelings of discouragement, or I'm overwhelmed, or even myself when I just need to practice some self-care because I've been immersed in something for so long that it's starting to be a little bit heavy,
Right.
then I just really will sit down and say, okay, Lord, what's my next move? What do you want me to do?
Right.
And inevitably, he always comes through with something. And it's always so out of the blue that I know it's him.
Times when you don't even expect it.
Right. Like, literally, when Trina reached out to me, it was like, okay, Lord, okay, I hear you. And it's in those moments where I am made fully aware and reminded that this is the purpose that I have called you to walk in. And if you will just trust me, I will open doors that no man can shut. But it's when I feel like I'm chasing things that it just never seems to come together, or it's always just out of my reach. But when I sit back and I just give him room to work, the doors will open, and all I have to do is walk through.
Right.
Right,
So-
right. And for you?
I have to piggyback back off of her. I was actually going to say pray too. I just stepped into my purpose with the Lord. So I
That's
feel like
amazing.
this whole what's going on right now is nothing but him.
Yes.
For her to
yes.
say that, that was a confirmation for me to say, I am your provider.
Yes.
So I have to agree with her. I just pray.
Yeah.
I have to pray because your thoughts are not your thoughts.
Right.
So you can have so many thoughts. You're not gonna do this, or you're gonna do this, but you're not gonna, you're not gonna be this, and then you're gonna be this. You just gotta sit for a minute and say, God, what am I doing?
Right.
And then that confirmation comes and say, okay, thank you, God.
Yeah, you kind of like, I think we all kind of get in our ways sometimes, like overthinking and overdoing too much and wanting too much and expecting too much as well. So it's like, okay, now I know that I can kind of, not worry so much about this particular thing. That will work itself out. Let me focus on this and let me focus on that. So as far as you was talking a little bit about it, but as far as what you do and the people that you work with, does sometimes their emotions and what's going on with that particular family, does that kind of weigh on you as well? Or how do you deal with balancing your own mental and, with the people that you deal with?
Absolutely. When you're in this type of work, you can't help but be impacted by it, especially because your family has experienced it. So what you felt like going through that particular storm, and you know how it impacted your child, and you know the lasting impact it has had on your family as a whole. And so you can't help but be impacted by it. And I think that's what drives the work, and that's what keeps us grounded, and that's what keeps us going, because if we literally can save one family from experiencing it, then we fulfilled our purpose. But in terms of how we interact with others, I tend to make sure that we do not make it ever about us,
Right.
because it's not about us, and that we have empathy, but we never, purport to know exactly how somebody feels, because this impacts everyone differently and uniquely. So from one survivor to the next, one family to the next, the experience is going to be unique. And so all I can provide to you is the framework for how our family dealt with a particular issue, and then give you the tools that you need to make sure that you're helping to prevent it from happening again in your family or to other children that you may know. So we are not in any way trying to say that we are experts because your experience and your walk in this is going to be unique. So
Right.
all I can really give to you is a framework for how to prevent it, and then also some of the tools and resources that we were able to garner to help us make us to the next step so that we could reach our level of healing.
Right. All right. Awesome. I love it. I love it. So for you, Miss Deja, since you deal with body sculpting and dealing with people's bodies, when people come to you, do they generally like express like, oh, I don't like this about my body. Can you help do this, or what can you do for this? Like they send you pictures and stuff. Can you help me get this together? You know, how does that process work?
So my clients actually go deep with me because
Okay.
I wanna create that personal relationship with them because they're exposing their body to me.
Mhm.
So I don't want them to feel naked but then clothed at the same time.
Mhm.
So my clients, like, if they ask me, you know, oh, I have problems here, I'm like, okay. But my purpose to make them feel confident. Like, girl, you better go in with your little pouch.
Yeah.
You still look good.
Right.
So yeah, I get that a lot, but my goal is to have everybody just feel open, just feel, you know, confident. That was the purpose of J Sculpt.
Mhm.
J Sculpt was to feel confident again because I had insecurity problems that no one knows.
Mhm.
But my insecurity problems didn't rub off on other women or other people.
Mhm.
And that's what I don't want people to, like, other women to do. That's why I try to, like, build a foundation
Mhm.
so people can feel confident again. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I like that. That's dope. All right, awesome. So we're gonna get into like trendy topics. Right now, what trendy topic are you just like? You're like rolling your eyes at like you don't know what's wrong with these people these days.
So where do you want to start? I watch CNN avidly, and right now I am glued to this election cycle,
Mhm.
as I think
Exactly.
many people are and should be. I personally want to see everyone get out and vote.
Mhm.
I have seen so many people on social media who have talked about not voting, or they're talking about, you know, certain candidates based off of, you know, past voting history or past legislation. And while I can completely, totally, absolutely understand the concerns that they're bringing to the forefront, I think that we have to look at where we are right now, and we have to be very honest with ourselves. And if you're okay with where we are right now, cool.
Right.
That's your deal.
Right.
But if you are not okay with where we are right now, then we have an opportunity to fix it.
Mhm.
And we can deal with our disagreements. We can deal with the things that have happened in the past and create some accountability.
Mhm.
But if we are going to do anything to change where we are,
Mhm.
everybody is going to have to get out and vote. And not just vote, but after November 3rd, you're going to have to keep talking
You're
and
gonna
keep
have to
having
keep
the
talking,
conversations and
exactly.
keep making the demands and keep holding people's feet to the fire. But we can't sit around and withhold our vote. We can't sit around and complain. We can't sit around and bash because
That's not
we are
helping
dying
anything.
literally
Yeah.
in the streets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we got to stop it. So that is my message is, you know, get out and vote because we're not going to make a change if we all sit home and just say, oh, they did this before or they did that before or I don't like this and I didn't like how they said that. Listen,
Right.
we're only going to make progress when we make some progress.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
When we all come together and we stand for one thing, I think that unity is important.
Right.
So once we vote and once we get out and vote and actually make that message to everyone, cool, that's the first step.
Yeah.
But once we transition after the election, our question is, what else do we do?
Right.
So I feel like we need to keep talking and keep calling our, you know, senators and emailing like your local government, emailing everybody about what we need to do and what we need to change. Because if we don't talk to them, because they're the ones that are actually in power for our local government, that's what we need to do. Because if we don't do those kind of things, then we're not going to have the change that we asked for in the beginning.
Right.
So I feel like we actually do need to step forward and talk to these people that are actually in power.
Yes. You have any thoughts on that?
To be honest, I'm not really into politics, and I'm not opposing, either or. But to me, I feel like if a changed mind is what's going to change the world.
Yeah.
The governors is not going to change the world. The president is not going to change the world. Our people is who change the world because we are their boss. So I feel like either or, either president win, it really don't make a difference because our mentality, the mentality that's going on right now is like it's going downhill. Our ancestors and our forefathers, it was like a waste. I feel like y'all wasting this fight that they fought for us.
Yeah.
It's a difference between. I feel like it would be different if black people or in all people would say, hey, we got to stick up for what's right. We're not sticking up for each other. We only
Right.
sticking up for each other when it's like something crazy happening,
Or
like
when it's the hot
George
topic.
Floyd. When it's something like something big, that's when we are like, okay, yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't trying to do nothing. So I feel like either or. It don't really. I don't know.
Yeah, I can agree with both. Like you guys said, it takes a whole, and it takes people who want change to create change. At the same time, nobody, like everybody on the face of the earth is not going to be on the same mindset and mind frame. So it's always going to be a constant battle, a constant struggle. And it's basically a power struggle of who's going to say what's this, who's dictating what this and what that is. But if we can get together as one minds and one souls to know that, whatever happens and whatever is put in place, we try our best to, speak what we want and what we think that the government should be offering us or what we need help with, and things like that. But honestly, I've been voting for a while now, so I'm not really big in politics, but I would, continue to vote and voice my opinion, my personal opinion on the people I think should be in these seats, within the community. All right. So have y'all heard about the Ice Cube situation?
I recently did,
Absolutely.
and
Okay,
I was shocked, honestly.
Okay, so somebody explain to me.
Well, before we do that, I just want to respond
Okay.
because I want us to understand that we're having two separate conversations.
Mhm.
So the conversation around the black community, since all of us sitting in this room are black, we can have the conversation about the black community and the things that we need to do within our community to fix our community, and that's a conversation that absolutely does have to happen.
Exactly.
We can't ignore it. There are some things that are going on that amongst us, we do have the power to fix.
Exactly.
And we're not going to fix it until we get real honest with ourselves about what's happening, why it's happening, and what we need to do to make those changes.
Right.
But a separate and equally as important conversation is who do we vote for? Because the people that we vote for are making the decisions that impact our lives, not just on a daily basis, but generationally.
Exactly.
So we can't necessarily say, well, if we're not doing what we need to do in our community, then what does it matter who the president is, or what does it matter who our senator is, or our congressperson, or our city council person, or our governor, or our mayor? Those are equally as important discussions, because when you look at what we're dealing with right now, and not to make this completely political, but just because I think it's important that we have these discussions so that we frame it correctly. We have a president and we have a Republican Senate that is pushing through a Supreme Court nomination right now
Right.
that will ultimately have the ability to change the foundation of our lives for a generation.
Exactly. And I don't think people understand that, how important that is for people to realize that they have that particular power to change everything for us.
So when we talk about just things like health care, we
Mhm.
don't have to get into the more controversial issues, but if you just talk about health care, if they eradicate this current healthcare system, then the people that we know and love may not have access to healthcare.
Right.
And so if your family has a history of diabetes, if your family has a history of heart disease, if your family has a history of cancer, if they don't have healthcare, where are they going to get their medication? Where are they going to get their treatment? What's going to happen to them? Are they just going to be left to suffer and die? And this is not to be dramatic. These are real life consequences that come with something as, you know, as important as a Supreme Court justice
Mhm.
and who we vote for president and who
Right.
we vote for for our legislators. So I just want our young people and everybody for that matter to understand that elections do have very serious consequences, and we are facing down the barrel of one of those consequences right now
Mhm.
because of this Supreme Court nomination. And this is not to make it, you know, extremely political, but it's to help people understand that your life will be impacted.
Mhm.
And as a black community, our lives will be impacted all the more by some of these decisions that are being made by people in office. So we definitely want to have a say-so about who represents us
Right.
and who's making decisions about our lives.
Exactly. I don't think
Right.
people understand that. With the Ice Cube situation, though, I don't fully know exactly his part on it, but what I've heard is that he created this plan for black people and wanting policies and laws in place for black people that we should, like, you know, get reparations and get our community right, all those kinds of things for our community. And he, I guess, Trump's committee reached out to him, and that's why he's trying to create this plan for them. And I really feel like they're using Ice Cube as a puppet to try to get the black vote. That's what I think it is. But from his point of view, I think that he thinks that they're trying to help him in that sense. But I think they're trying to use him as a puppet for the community.
So I watched the interviews yesterday.
Mhm.
He was on Roland Martin yesterday, or I'm sorry, 2 days ago, and then he was on CNN last night.
Yeah, I saw some.
And so ultimately, it breaks down to it being as simple as this. Ice Cube took it upon himself to create this contract with Black America, with 13 initiatives that were designed to help better the position of black people in
Right.
America.
Right.
He took that particular contract with Black America and he presented it to the Democratic Party. He presented it to the Republican Party. The Democratic Party said, we like what's in here. We agree with many of the initiatives that you have implemented. However, we can't talk about this until after the election. Not that we don't want to talk to you, not that we don't think it's important, not that we don't agree with the initiatives, but right now we're basically focused on the campaign. The Republican Party said, oh, we think this is great. Do you mind if we use it? And he said, sure. And instead of taking it and packaging it as the contract with Black America, they repackaged it as the Platinum Plan. And with that, they then turned around and said, we have Ice Cube's endorsement
See? Yeah.
for President Trump. And with that, we are working with him to implement the Platinum Plan.
Right.
Well, the Platinum Plan is not Ice Cube's plan. Ice Cube's plan is the contract with Black America. And so what we have is a situation where he felt like the Democratic Party did not respond quickly enough and that they didn't give it the attention that it deserved right now, versus the Republican Party that essentially gave the impression that they were going to implement some of these initiatives, but we have no proof of that. There has not been anything done. They essentially just said, okay, yeah, we think this is great. We'll adopt this, but we all know that the proof is in the pudding. So we can't assume that they're going to do it simply because they said they are.
Right.
So if there were some things that were adopted immediately and we saw
Right.
some immediate
Right.
change, then maybe we could say, okay, yeah, they're really
They're
for this.
trying.
They're going to jump on it. They're doing
Mhm.
something. But we just have a conversation.
Exactly.
And so, as we know, with all political situations, a conversation is just that, a
Exactly.
conversation. And so we can't assume that simply because people are having a conversation that it's going to produce anything.
Exactly.
And so I think that in his efforts to really do something that would help to progress and advance Black America, he just got caught up in a whirlwind, and a lot of things were taken out of context. A lot of assumptions were being made. And so now, instead of us focusing on the real issue of an election cycle, we're now arguing back and forth about these things as far as who's supporting who and who wrote what and who's responsible for. So it is to a certain extent a distraction, but I can appreciate that he was trying to do something to advance
That's what I
the
said.
standing of Black people in America.
Right.
And yeah, I didn't quite understand what was going on. 'Cause, you know, I'm on social media, but I'm not really on social media, so I don't like, and I don't really like watch TV and things like that. So I heard briefly by somebody else saying something about it, so I was like, what is going on, you know? But yeah, I don't even know. Like, I think that they definitely wanted they wanted what he had, but like you said, they repackaged it. So it's like, okay, instead of doing this, we're going to do this. And this is our, you know, what we want to give to the people, basically, or whatnot. So like I said, I don't really get into politics like that.
And there's a lot of other deeper things that if we were to, you know, peel back the layers, we would find that, you know, it's not quite what has been, you know, suggested that it is.
Exactly.
But that's, you know, going deep into the politics of it all. But I think at the end of the day, what we had presented to us in terms of Ice Cube is supporting Donald Trump was a fallacy.
It was,
and that's where things really got off track.
Yeah, and that's what I heard.
And
he
it
said
took away the main focus of what he's actually trying to do.
Exactly.
So now I don't know what Ice Cube would do in this case. It's like they threw his idea away, and now it's this conversation like, oh, he tried, and what else?
Right,
So.
right. Now you say you are the president?
Yes, the president of the UWG chapter at my school.
Okay, and can you explain to me what that is?
So we're NAACP. We're an organization that helped back in 1906. That's where we were founded. I think it was 1906. I apologize. That's a disgrace. But we helped back to the civil rights movement. We helped cases to help people desegregate and all that. And now we are trying to help Black Americans economically, socially, and politically. So we're helping Black people get out of injustice. We're helping Black people be in the community. So our chapter is basically the youth college chapter, and we're helping everybody on campus right now. And you know, with COVID going on, we're helping. We died down. We're not really doing as much as events this year, and so we're trying to basically focus on voting and getting everyone to the voting polls, doing free rides, getting everyone there and back, and talking about, like, you know, what are the main points that our president and vice president would have. So our main focus is to get justice for everybody. That's what I feel, and that's what I'm trying to tell, that's what I'm trying to push for everybody to have in our community. As far as my chapter, I want to do more community service. I want to basically not have people be knowledgeable about what's going on in our community, because a lot of people don't know that people are suffering out here. More so, I feel, economically. They're put in a place where they can't get out, and they were put there and they don't have any type of resources. So I feel like I want everyone to be knowledgeable about what's going on, and so once they're knowledgeable about that, that's when we can move and change and do everything we can.
Okay, awesome. I like that. And so this is like, I specialize in marketing and advertising, right? So recently my page was hacked and everything, so I was like, okay, I'm going to restructure my page. I'm going to target different people that I want and I know that I need to reach. One of my niche audiences is college students and, you know, women that are of your age. And you go to West Georgia, so I was like, you know what? You know, I'm from West Georgia. I actually was born there in that city.
Seriously?
In that city, okay?
Mhm.
So after I was born, I got gone, okay? gone, okay? And I was like, you know what? Because I definitely want to reach back out to my community and the city that I was born in. Because the reason why I left that area was because there was no progress. Nobody wanted to change. Nobody wanted to see growth, and it was all like a very competitive type thing. No matter what you did, people always competed with you. But if you wanted to do hair, you got these little cliques over here who do hair. Everybody competing. Everybody going to that person. You got somebody who take pictures. There's one person that take pictures in the whole city that everybody want to go to. Instead of, you know, venturing out and working with other people in the city that do photography and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be here in no bubble, and I'm not going to be competing with nobody. You know, if I'm here in Atlanta, and if I live in Atlanta, it's plenty of opportunities. It's plenty of, you know, people that I can connect and network with. So being that you are from West Georgia, I said I wanted to reach out to a lot of the college students out there in West Georgia. So
Right.
I'm very excited and happy that you came on
Thank you.
and you agreed, because I really want to do more work in that community.
Of course.
And you know, anything that I can do, like I said, I'll be hosting like an event there, like a meet and greet for different women, the ladies on campus. So that's gonna be dope as well.
What was
so,
the organization called?
so Girl Let's Talk Atlanta is the network that you're on.
Right.
So-
No, I'm saying like the organization you said on campus. You
No,
said-
I said I want
you want to come?
Yes,
Oh, okay. So
yes.
I mean, we can partner up and
Mhm.
we can sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
can
that'll
sponsor
be dope.
you. Yeah, that would be dope.
Yes, yes. I'm looking forward to it. So that's why I had to
course.
keep my connections going.
Yeah, of
okay.
course.
young,
Still
people,
here.
young people lead the way, and I
Yes.
think that it's important that we understand that. And you know, the older generations have the responsibility to not just model, you know, the things that we need our young people to know and understand, but we also have to educate, because at this particular point in time, young people have networks that far exceed,
Okay.
you know, the
Then
rest
back
of us.
then,
And so,
exactly.
you know, when you talk about just getting a message out, if you want a message out, give it to a young person.
Oh yeah.
You know, it will be
We'll
blasted
transfer
in
that.
2.2 seconds across all platforms. It'll reach millions of people. And so I am so impressed with what our young people are doing, and I really applaud you, because, you know, when we say that the kids are the future, that's not really a cliche. That's
It's
true.
Not. That is true.
You know, when you look at what they were doing in the civil rights movement, a lot of them were, you know, in their 20s.
Exactly.
And these are
And
now
it's
the
even younger.
heroes.
It's even younger people nowadays.
Exactly.
16
Exactly.
being with climate change.
Exactly.
Even
Earth
younger.
Day was brought to the college students because they
Exactly.
felt like they would be able to progress and advance that particular message. And so, you know, the heroes that we hold up, you know, in high esteem right now from the civil rights movement, those people were in their 20s
Right.
at that time.
Right.
And so we have to start, you know, developing and nurturing and creating our heroes today for tomorrow. Because as a lot of us start to, you know, get older and we
Right.
move off the scene,
Right.
we got to have somebody there that's going to be able to carry that mantle. So
Right.
I applaud you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that getting the message out to your, you know, to your counterparts on college campuses is extremely important, because they can really carry that banner ahead. So thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I think, is it Tiffany Lofton is like the head of the Young People's NAACP?
Now it's James Stocks.
Okay.
Mr. James Stocks. He's the oh, you're talking about the whole
Nationally,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So
Nationally,
I
yes.
follow her on social media, and I think what she's doing with you all is amazing, because it's getting the word out in ways that they weren't able to do before. And if just young people turn out to vote in our local elections, it makes a huge difference. And then when you talk about state and national, it's going to be amazing. So I'm so excited to see what our young people are going to be able to do to help us advance progress.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, most definitely. So let's get into some entertainment, guys. So what's the last thing that you watched on Netflix?
Okay, so guys, I'm into If Loving You Is Wrong. It's a
Is that
Tyler
by
Perry
Tyler
show. It's a Tyler. See,
Okay, If
you
Loving
got
You
it.
Is Wrong.
It's a Tyler Perry show. I watch it all the time. It's like 6 seasons, so now I'm like binge watching. I'm still in season 1 because there's like 42 episodes
Oh wow! In
But
one season.
in one season.
Jesus.
And then, so that's why whenever I find a show, I'm so happy because, like, it's like, especially if there's 6 seasons, like, I'm there, I'm watching
Right.
it. I'll be the best time there. For Life is it's executive produced by 50 Cent. For Life, yeah. It's the second season coming on November 18th. What else have I watched? There's a couple other ones. I'm gonna let y'all know.
So you don't be Netflix and chill?
Oh, that's on Hulu.
It's on
But that
Hulu?
might be,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's on Hulu.
Hulu.
I don't really watch Netflix like this.
All right. So what you be watching?
You don't really watch? I do watch TV, but it be like very suddenly. Like I don't really watch it. I'm always like
More like
working.
movies? You watch more like movies?
I don't have the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't really.
Well,
Yeah.
dang, I have all the time.
But I did watch If Loving You Is Wrong. It's a good soap opera. I didn't even
It's
know
like
they
a
had
soap
it on Netflix.
opera. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a soap opera. I didn't know they had it on Netflix. So.
Wow. I don't think I watched it. The last thing I watched on Netflix, I can't remember. Because I always go to I go to Hulu a lot. So I've been binge watching because I really don't do like the TV, but I love like the Housewives of Potomac and I like the Housewives of Atlanta. So I'll watch that. And then I like to watch like HGTV because I like just interior design. Like I
Yeah.
have I'm very visual. So whether it's digital, whether it's painting, whatever it is, I love it. So I've really stuck to HDTV, vacation spots, all kinds of stuff. And then sometimes I'll watch, I used to watch Shark Tank when it first came out. Now I think it's just drawing on too long. Like, I'm over it already, okay?
Also on Hulu, The Haves and the Have-Nots. That's
Okay.
another Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Anything Tyler Perry, I swear, y'all would love it. It's like different scenarios that you would never think of that will blow your mind, that he would think of
Right.
to put on TV. It's
Yeah.
crazy. He's a
Yeah.
genius as far as the.
I haven't done anything Netflix recently. I'll be honest, when this pandemic started in March and everybody was literally in the house for months, I think I watched like all of Netflix.
Okay.
So I kind of ran out of stuff to watch, to be honest. But one thing that I did watch, and I think this was on Hulu, which was Little Fires Everywhere.
Yes. Okay.
And I think
See?
people were talking about that
That's really
for
good.
weeks, but it was really
Little fires
an
everywhere.
excellent
It touched on a
miniseries
lot of
because
things.
it created a lot of conversations around so many different topics. And so,
Motherhood.
yes, you had
Everything.
social injustice, you had relationships, you had kind of like the social caste system. Like there were so many different things. We even had a segment in there that dealt with like teen pregnancy.
Right. Yeah. It did.
I mean, it was a lot. So I really enjoyed that series. And right now, I am keeping up with the Black Love documentary, which is
Okay.
on OWN.
Okay.
And this really highlights different couples and their experience from their own unique perspective. So you have
Okay.
couples that may have been married for a year versus a couple that's been married for 30 years. And they really kind of walk you through their relationship and how they've dealt with different scenarios, down through the years. And for someone who's been married for quite a long time, you would probably wonder, well, like, why do you want to watch that? But it's for two reasons. Number one, I always want to celebrate Black love. And number two, I think that we should be lifelong learners when it comes to our relationships. We don't ever want to think that we know it all and get
Exactly.
stagnant and stop learning our partner and stop, appreciating the evolution of ourselves, as individuals, but also
Right.
as couples. And so I would say in watching the show, there's always something that I can take away and apply to my life or turn it into a learning lesson that I can give, you know, to my young people and
Right.
say, hey, I didn't quite experience this, but I saw this, and this is how this person dealt with it. So maybe that's something for you to consider.
Okay. All right. I gotta look that up. So speaking of relationships, are either of you guys in relationships?
Yes.
Okay. So how is it like being? Because I mean, I'm not much older, but I'm older and I'm not in that scene. So how was it like, you know, dating at the age that you guys are, and what it's like having, you know,
I feel like yes, we understand that we're young, but we understand that we have a lot more growing up to do. Like we have more responsibilities headed our way. Like we have responsibilities right now, but we understand that once we get older, that we're gonna be on our own together. So I feel like once we understand that together, then honestly, age really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your dude older than you?
No, he's the same age.
Okay. She like age don't matter. I'm like,
No,
was
not
you
in
hitting
that
at
sense.
something or what?
No, not in that sense. I'm saying
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I'm saying like as far as like mentally us
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Are you dating?
I'm not dating.
Okay.
I find myself playing the mother role all the time. So I don't like it, and I feel like I think it's me. Like I like I don't know. Like sometimes I could be too dominant, and I don't act as the woman. And when I say that, I mean like, okay, if we go to dinner, I'm paying for everything. Or it could be vice versa, but I like that dominant, but I also like being submissive. So I feel like sometimes I could play the mother role too much. I'd be like, I feel like I'm somebody's mom, like,
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have brothers and sisters, but
Are you the oldest?
no.
Okay.
So
I
you
just, I feel like I'm like just naturally like that because I'm like a caretaker. I like to take care. Like, I feel like that is my job. So I don't know.
Do you think that that's like maybe like a not
think that-
downfall, but some
It is a downfall because my ex-boyfriend, he was doing something. I'm like, boy, what are you doing? Pull your pants up. And I just felt like I can't do it.
If you
I
get in
can't
that
do
type
it.
of position, no.
I can't do it. I just can't. So I don't know. I'm not in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship now. I do want to be married.
Okay.
And
That's
I do
good.
want to be married, so I want to be protected. That's what I want. And I feel like I don't find that here.
Right.
So
Yeah. Probably when you get a little older, you might find that. What do you think about, you know, as far as dating while young and dating?
When I talk to women who are dating, I'm hearing that it's quite a challenge, and especially right now with you know, with COVID, that brings its own inherent challenges. But just overall, I'm hearing that it's a challenge because they may not feel as though they're finding people that match their level of ambition, you know, that match the things that they really want out of life. Especially here, you know, in Atlanta, women are just some real go-getters. So, you know, you're talking to people who they don't have just one job, but they have 2, 3, 4 jobs because they're trying to make things happen on so many different fronts. And so it makes trying to create time for relationships a little bit difficult. So when they do try and date, you know, they're looking for some certain things in terms of just the quality of the person that they're spending time with because they don't have a lot of time. And so they don't want to waste their time, which is completely understandable. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, at this point, having to be very clear about what you want. And if you recognize that that person, you know, does not fit that description, to just politely let them know, this is not working out for me, and keep it moving, as opposed to staying in something that doesn't serve you well and really waste your time and takes away from some of the other things that you have to do or need to do.
Right. Okay. Cool. I get it. So we were talking about COVID earlier, touched on it. So in light of the coronavirus, have you guys acquired any new skills or learned anything new during this time?
I did. I felt like it was unfortunate that people had to lose their life to COVID, but at the same time, COVID showed what was inside people. I feel like it showed what was inside me. I didn't know I was a hustler like that.
Okay.
So COVID did. That's why I actually started body sculpting.
Okay.
So I just felt like it brought out what was in me.
Right, right. It definitely made a lot of people like hustlers. Okay, you thought you was a hustler before. You thought you had something going with your business before. When COVID hit, a lot of businesses suffer. A lot of people suffer. The economy suffered. Even though they gave out stimulus check and tried to refuel the economy, it's still suffering at this moment.
That's why it's important to vote so we can change and
Okay.
try to get new policies out there for
Bring
us.
it full
Right.
circle. Bring it full circle. Holly. We really had to just redirect how we delivered our information. We did a lot on social media daily anyway, so that didn't have to change. But just in terms of delivering our training, we had to start looking at ways to do that virtually. And that's fine. As long as the information is getting out, that's the important thing.
I have a question for you. So, the girls and the families and the people that you deal with, what if they aren't available to do it virtually? Are you available to go to them in a way? Because some people can't afford or don't have cell phones or anything like
Right.
that, don't have laptops. So
Right.
could you go to them if that's the case?
Right now, we're not doing in-person trainings simply because we have to maintain safety. So if we need to maybe talk to you over the phone, we can offer that one-on-one time, but we're not doing any type of in-person engagement simply because
You just want to stay safe.
we
as
have
far
to stay
as-
safe. We work with someone who has an underlying health condition, and so for that reason alone, we have to make sure that we are monitoring, how we're engaging with people, simply to make sure that we maintain our own health and safety, but also we want to make sure that we're maintaining the health and safety of others. So we will work with you in any way we can, but right now it's just the in-person has been put on hold.
Okay.
Okay. Deja, when you first started your business and even now, what is something that you struggle with? Nothing?
No, I have some struggles. I struggle with, if I would say consistency. I don't really know. I haven't found it, but I know I struggle because I have flaws, but I don't really know. Maybe
Yeah. I know. Like,
because it's hard because I do body sculpting, so it's like I don't really know. I could say networking maybe. Networking, I sometimes stick to just marketplace or just Instagram. I don't really pass out my cards like I should be. I don't give it to people because I'm like, they probably don't want to do that, so I have to be more open-minded and stuff. So maybe that.
Okay, cool. I know for me, I guess like what you said, consistency will be something that I continue to struggle with, because I just like my mind goes a million miles per second. I'm always thinking about something, and it does interfere with what I'm focusing on at the moment. So sometimes I can focus here and I get it done, and sometimes I will focus on one thing, but I don't be consistent with it. So it's like, okay, I gotta calm down and stop trying to trying to do a million things at one time. But having a million things and things that are like keeping an agenda definitely helps. So with time management, how do you deal with time management as far as, like you said, you have clients and things like that. So when you go out to appointments, how much like time do you allow yourself to either get ready, to get there, make sure that your equipment and stuff is together, and how much time in between do you kind of like give your clients as far as like, so each session, like how much time is each session that you do?
So the longest session is 60 minutes. The shortest is 30. But that's actually another issue I have, time. So for example, I had a client was like, hey, I'm at your door, and I was still in bed. I was like, oh, I forgot I had you. So that was that's actually one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the time can be sometimes, I can sometimes go over because I have those conversations, those long conversations, or, we'll sit and talk and I be forgetting, I have someone right after you. We got to kind of make this short and quick.
Right.
So that is it.
That's one thing too. Like I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, whether it be communicating via phone, email, text message, messenger, you name it. It's like, oh my God, like I'm literally, and it's, sometimes I can't believe, like I literally talked to 50 people today alone, and it's crazy, but that's what I love. I love to network, okay? So, and networking is a big part of what anybody has going on, especially if you're trying to get, the public and people to be a part of what you got going on. Okay, so yeah, definitely networking. I love it. So new skill. You say you didn't learn any new skill or try anything new? New food.
New food. I don't know, cause I'm a full-time student, so I really focus on my work and going to work.
Okay. Do you have like a study strategy?
My study strategy would be like study for about 30 minutes a day. Because if I consistently study that subject or that test, then I learn it faster. So honestly, I've really been quarantining.
Okay.
Because I'm a full-time student. They put us off campus last semester.
What? So you're not staying on campus?
Yeah, I'm staying on campus, but I'm mostly home, going back and forth to work. So I'm really all over the place, and my organization is still at school, so I have to go back every now and then to deal with my events and
so
stuff
they're
like
still
that.
They're doing like virtual school on the campus?
Well, I have in-person classes Tuesday and Thursday, so I go 3:30. I go 3:30 on Tuesdays and 11 on Thursdays. And we still have class, but it's only one time a week for each of those classes. Okay. 2 classes. Okay. So I'm just balancing everything.
Yeah. How do you kind of find balance in going to school and working?
Honestly, I don't even know how I do it. I guess it's just my motivation and my passion because I really want to help my community. My main goal is to help my community out of poverty because I've been in that situation. I've been the lowest of the lowest. So I want to help my people in any kind of way. Whether it's, dropping off a gallon of water or something to somebody, I'll do it. Yeah. Like, I'm that type of person that is at the front for anybody. So I feel like my main goal is to become that therapist and then to open my own practice and to open my own clinic for women and just to push forward help for everybody. Yeah. And that's what I feel like my purpose on this earth is. Yeah. So I think it's my passion that drives me, honestly.
Yes, definitely. Passion will drive you into some places you never, like, you wake up and be like, how did I get here?
Exactly.
Say your gift make room for you.
Yeah.
It definitely do. Honestly, what I do now, I could not have imagined that I would be here doing anything because I'm not like a talkative person. I'm not like a people's person. I was always shy. I just kind of stayed to myself. Like, I was like, you know what? None of this was like even in my head at all. I'm like, never. Yes. So, what was the question I asked you?
The skills.
Oh yeah, so the skills, and you said studying and things like that. So, as far as how do you stay motivated in school? Because you said you are a senior, right?
Yes.
And I know that. So I went to school. I graduated, and so after high school, I skipped a year, and then I went to school. Because after high school, I was like, yes, I'm grown now. Like, I wanted to really do, grown stuff. Yeah. And then after that, I went to school. So for younger women who are in high school and want to go to college, how can you motivate them to stay in college the full term and graduate and get their diploma and actually do something with it? That takes a lot of work.
So my goal is to go straight to graduate school right after I graduate. That's my goal. If that doesn't happen, God forbid, I'll just take a year off. But my main goal is to go straight to graduate school. So for high school, anybody in high school that's going to college or that you have to find what you really want to do, what you really are passionate about. It's not more like what you can do and what you cannot do. It's more like, what do I love to do? What can I do to help myself and help the community or help the people around me? So first you have to find that passion for yourself and what you can do for your people. To stay in school, you have to, honestly, I feel like your passion and your motivation strives from what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? So what you want to do is that main goal. And sometimes college might not be that main goal of what you want to do. Most likely, I would say, the field of, being a doctor or being a psychologist or being a physician. I would say even for broadcasting, because we have an internet radio at our school.
Yeah, I reached out to all of them.
like
I did.
like majors like that, mass communications, even that should be your motivation to stay in school. If you want to be on the radio, that should be
Right.
your motivation to stay in school and get where you want to get to.
Right.
And a lot of people talk about how there's not a solidified job at the end of college, but once you have that degree, that does give you a pathway to talk to many people and get mentors and talk to them about being in that position that you want to be in. So it's all about networking too.
Right.
It's about networking and talking to people about what you want to do and finding what you want to do, because there's different paths for every major and every field that you want to go into.
Right.
So,
Can I just piggyback off of her? So a lot of people always ask, well, I don't know what I want to do. But you do. I feel like people, because of life challenges, people forget what they want to do. You know what you want to do because
Right.
when you were younger, what did you always say you wanted to be?
exactly.
For me, I always say I want to be a superhero.
Okay.
But I don't I had to put that in the terms of reality now.
Mhm.
I just want to be a motivational speaker. I want to talk to people. I want to help people. I want to talk to thousands of people.
Yes.
And I feel like a way to execute that is writing everything you want down. Write it on paper.
Right.
And then once it come true, you check it off. That's what I
Right.
do.
Yes.
So this right here, talking to, I don't even know how many people is tuned in, but this, I'm going to check it off because I said, I want to talk to people. I got a voice. I like to talk.
Yes.
I like people, so I'm going to check it
Yes.
off. So
Yes.
I just wanted to add that because
Yeah.
most people would be like, I don't know what I want to do. Well, yes, you do.
They
You just
do
forgot.
know what they want to do. It's just that
It's a matter of
feel
them
like
believing in themselves.
it's the fact that you think that society is not going to accept it, or society is not going to allow you to go forward. But once you write down what you want to do and what you just find things around that field or around that thing that you want to do, and you'll find it. Trust me.
Not only that, like I said, people go through life challenges, and I'm only saying that from experience because of me. I lost my mother at a young age. I was only 18, so I was like, it's impossible for me to, go out and speak to people. I'm broken.
right.
So people sometimes let life challenges get in the way of what they really wanted to do. They know what they want to do. They just feel like it's not, like she said, acceptable, and it's not possible because of what they've been through.
Oh,
So I think also we have to understand what our gifts are. We can want to do something, and that really just may not be in our wheelhouse. And we have to be honest with ourselves as well. And so one thing that, I've heard one of the celebrities say is, what is your gift? Because passion can only take you so far. If you're not particularly skilled at something, you're probably not going to be as successful. But if you discover the God-given gift that is within you, and then you build from there, you will find all kinds of success because it is what comes natural to you. And I will say that I am a huge proponent of a college education, but I also recognize that every young person may not want to go to college. And so we have to get back to really
All
encouraging our young people to, again, discover what they're good at and trying to find a path in life where they can use those skills. So if you don't want to go to college, may I suggest that you go, if you're good with your hands, do you want to be a plumber? They make a lot of money. When you need someone to come to your house to provide that service, you're not looking for, well, did they go to a 4-year university? Do they have an advanced graduate degree? You just want to know, can they take care of what it is that you need?
Right.
And the same thing with other services. I often make the joke, I would love to have a plumber, an electrician, a lawyer,
Right.
a doctor,
Right.
and a mechanic in my family because ultimately we are going to need
One
those
of
services.
at one
And
time.
so if you're not going to go to a 4-year university, I don't want to fault you for that. I just
Right.
want you to go and do something that's going to help you become a successful and a member of society, a contributing member of society.
Right.
And so that doesn't mean that you have to get a 4-year degree, but you do need to do something.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? So when someone asks you, what is my God-given gift? Well, because you said like passion can only get you so far. But wouldn't your passion be your God-given gift because it's in your heart?
Not necessarily.
The only reason why I say that, because I know you said do what you're good at, but you can work in a warehouse and be good at making 100,000 brushes in less than 2 hours. But that may not be what you want to do. So that's why I was asking. So if someone asks you, what is my God-given gift? What would you tell them?
The first thing I would tell them is I can't answer that for you because only you know what's in you, meaning what you're good at. Like I wouldn't automatically look at you and say, oh hey, you're good at this, because I don't know you. So you would actually have to tell me, well, I'm really good with my hands. I like to build stuff. I can take it apart and put it back together. And then I think, oh, okay, well, if you're really good with your hands, have you considered doing this, this, and this?
Right.
Or what else do you like to do? So you're good with your hands. What have you done lately that you really enjoyed?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a foundational question. But I would say when you talk about passion, we could be passionate about a lot of stuff. Point is, I'm really passionate about appearance. I can't do hair. So there's no point in me saying, I'm really passionate about hair, so I'm going to do hair. Well, I already know that's not my gift. But I can appreciate the person who says, I'm really good with hair. And I've been doing, my little sister's hair, and I've been doing my cousin's hair, and I've been doing the neighbor's hair, and I'm really good at it. Okay, well then, that's your gift. And is that something that you could see yourself doing, as a career? And we also have to keep in mind what you're good at today and what feeds your interest today may not be what feeds your interest tomorrow. And so that's when I was saying a little while ago, in terms of just even relationships, feeding the evolution of people. If today your gift is doing hair and you're really good at it and you're able to make a living from it, but tomorrow you decide, I don't want to do this anymore. I have found that I have other gifts inside of me that I want to nurture, and I want to pursue that. I'm all for that too. Then go and do that. But the thing is, you have to find out what are you good at? What are you gifted at? And then build from there. Because sometimes we can have a passion for something that doesn't necessarily align with what we're gifted to do.
Right. I think I stated the question wrong, but I completely agree with you. I feel like I should have said, how do you know? But I do agree what you were saying, as far as the whole gift and everything. I mean, the whole, you saying that your gift is you have a passion for appearance. That can go part with what you do as a child. I can't. Yeah, so that goes far. That if you want to, that goes really, really deep, because what you're doing is you want people to feel confident. That goes with appearance. You want people to feel confident. You want them to look confident. So yeah, appearance can go with what you do, what you're doing now. You have a passion for helping other people. Say, hey, you don't have to be a victim of a crime and walk around like a victim, and walk like you're not confident. That's how I look at it, kind of.
So my gift is teaching. And I ran from it for a little while, but then I realized that I was good at presenting information.
Mhm.
And so I actually saw that I could do it with young people, like, smaller kids. I taught Sunday school for a while, which if you can teach kids, and especially teach kids something
Yeah.
like the Bible,
Right.
then you really doing something. And so I found that in teaching kids, it wasn't just about getting the information out there, but it was about bringing props and having, things that I can demonstrate and illustrate things and, concepts, and they were getting it. But then also in my professional life, I was training adults and doing the same thing. How do I bring this information to them in a way that's relatable? And so with all of that, I had to take a step back and say, you know what, this is something that I'm actually really good at, and it's the gift that I've been given, but I also enjoy it. And so I turned that gift into a passion, but it didn't start out that way. And so I think we all have to individually take a step back and start asking those, kind of foundational questions. And the first one is simply, what am I good at? And if I'm good at it, do I enjoy it? And if I enjoy it, can I see myself making a career of it? And so it's kind of, it's a progression of kind of coming to terms with who we are, what we are, who we want to be, and then how do I get there?
Right.
But no one can answer the question for you of what's your God-given gift, because
Right.
He gave it to you.
That's why I said maybe I had stated it wrong. Maybe I should have asked, "How do you know?" That's why I said hey, maybe I restated it.
I think for me, if I'm going to be honest, it comes from a lot of prayer, and I don't want to push that on anybody, but for me personally, I think it does come from prayer, but then it also comes from just kind of taking a step back and surveying your life, and asking yourself those questions. And oftentimes we don't take time to talk to ourselves. We let other people tell us who we are
Yeah.
and what we are and what we're supposed to be, as opposed to saying, hey, let me figure this out for myself and then move ahead.
Right. Yeah, I definitely, as far as talent, it's like I've just been like a creative person, always creative, always thinking of different things. But when it came to like skill, it was like, cause I really don't work, like I can do hair and then I like to like design digitally. So it's like, what can I do with my hands that I can make money? That's what I was thinking at when I first started. But then after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of working with my hands. I really don't want to do too much with my hands no more. Now it's time for this. My mental. What can I learn? What can I be able to teach? What can I say to other people where I can use my mental and not really be so hands on? So that's one thing that, like, for me to decipher my skills. Since I had multiple skills, I just had to decipher which one I really wanted to do and which one would cost me less time. Because when like doing like everything with my hands, it just costs a lot of time. Like I don't want to waste like 7 hours out of the day like braiding somebody's hair when I could have did X, Y, and Z in that time frame. So trying to when you're like looking to get your talents out, what you want to do, just think about what you can do that costs you the least amount of time, so that you can be able to make room for other things as well.
Check.
And I mean, and what you're essentially are saying is, I found that I had a gift for this, but I didn't think that it was necessarily the thing that was going to serve me
Right.
the best, because
Right.
I didn't enjoy it.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of times we kind of we downplay the idea of doing something that you're going to enjoy, because I think generationally we were just taught you need to go get a job.
Right.
And it
right.
wasn't, you need to go get a job that you like, and you need to get a job that you don't mind doing
Right.
8 hours or doing 5 days a week or whatever. It was, you need to go get a job.
Yeah.
And I think now our young people are starting to understand that to quote unquote live your best life, you need to be doing something that you enjoy. So you
Right.
got to take whatever the gift is that's within you and and find out if that's going to bring you any level of joy and any level of happiness, so that you would be willing to toil to do that on a long-term basis.
Right.
Because for me personally, you know, years ago I prayed and I was like, Lord, if I have to work, can I enjoy what I do?
Right.
Like, I wasn't opposed to working, but my thing was, if I gotta go to work every day, can I at least do something that I
Right.
enjoy?
Right.
And he did bless me for years with a career that, while most people hated to get up and go to work every day, I didn't mind. What I did, I was good with it. I
That's a
enjoyed
blessing.
I enjoyed my job, but I recognized that I was different in that sense, that while other people were, dreading Monday coming, I was just like, okay. But then I've been on the other side of the spectrum where I hated my job and I would cry on Sunday night because Monday was coming. And so that concept became even more important to me. And I would stress to young people that whatever it is that you're going to do in life, make sure it's something that you enjoy, because nobody wants to get up every day and go do something that they absolutely hate.
Exactly. I started my business at 21, so I only had one real job, and that was working at a fast food restaurant in school. So I was like, you know what, after working there, I said, you know what, I don't want to work for nobody else. So that's when I kind of decided and knew that I really had to search within me for like talents and gifts, because I absolutely did not want to work for nobody at all, period. Like, I wanted to get up when I wanted to. And also, I was spoiled as well. So I'm my dad's only child, so he gave me anything I wanted and provided anything that I needed as well, as far as my family did also. So I was extra spoiled. I didn't have to do nothing that I didn't want to do, So when I became an adult and had kids, it was like different. It was like, okay, so now I really gotta hustle. I really gotta really dig deep down and figure out what is it that I can do to make money on a daily basis, and have a steady income from my family. So yeah, like, I'm not, pro job or whatnot, but I just knew that off the bat, that was not, it wasn't it. I love going to Burger King. I love my burgers. As long as they get my orders right. I love going to places and getting services as well, but I cannot see myself being, of service like that. Now, I am of service by giving my voice and providing different opportunities and things like that for women and for people to take advantage of. I'm not a server, but I will produce.
Well, I wouldn't say you're not a server, because you do serve the community in that you offer a platform where other people can, highlight what it is that they do and how we can connect with one another and create, opportunities within our community. So I think that you are in service. I also think that when we talk about entrepreneurship, it serves some people extremely well, and it's great if that's the direction that you want to go in. But to Ollie's point, there are going to be some people that want to do something that's going to require them to go get that advanced degree, and they may have to work for someone else, and they're perfectly fine with that. And I think that we have to individually assess what it is that we want out of life, and then take the path that's going to get us there. So whether it's, entrepreneurship, or, working in a corporation, or working in an industry where you're serving, like, a doctor, a nurse, things of that nature, just find out what it is that you're gifted at, and then what it is that you enjoy. And if being of service, in the fact that you want to be, a physician, or you want to be a nurse, or you want to be a teacher, those are all, noble professions. But so is being the person in our community that brings us together and creates a platform so that we can highlight and showcase all of the good that is happening and all of the positive that is happening. So we have a spectrum of service that we see on a day-to-day basis that we can highlight and uplift and appreciate. And we may not have all taken the same path,
Right.
but we're all as successful and
Yeah.
we're honoring the purpose that has been given.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about meeting and networking with African American, Black, beautiful women because we have so many talents, so many skills. It's like, sis, I know what I want for me ain't for you, okay? And what you want for yourself is not for me, but I appreciate and I applaud you for doing that for you, you know? So we have about 15 minutes left. So, if you guys, did you want to share anything that you have coming up? Do you do like events? Do you
I
have
just-
virtual classes? Any services that you offer?
I actually just did a party yesterday.
Okay,
Yeah, I was the only one, so it was like I was tired. But I do classes.
Okay.
I'm actually going to Montgomery, Alabama next Friday
Okay.
to do classes and service. But I did have a question for you.
Okay.
You said that you started your business at the age of 21.
Mhm.
How was it that first year?
So the first year that I started my business, the business that I started is not the business that I have currently. So first of all, I changed it up. Okay. So I started off by doing photography, and because I was out of high school and because I wasn't in the networking, you know, I didn't know nothing about anything. I was completely blindsided and blinded by everything when it comes to business and communicating with people and building relationships and stuff like that. So along my journey, I kind of learned that. So when I started, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I want to take pictures for people, but I'm not really comfortable with talking to people like that. So that's something that I had to realize. I said, okay, now I got to get uncomfortable with being comfortable with people, if that makes sense. So I had to start reaching out to people. Hey, you know, I got this, that going on. If I wanted to offer a service for free, whatever promo, whatever I had going on, I connected and reached out to those individuals. And that's kind of what kind of grew, you know, the business. It was me basically opening my voice and opening my mouth and telling people what it is that I offer and what I wanted. And when I realized that, I said, oh, snap now, you know, my business is, you know, I have clientele. I really had, like, real clients. When I got my real first clients taking pictures and stuff, like, at a young age, I was like, oh, my God, it was so amazing. And then after a while, you know, learning stuff along the way and just being committed to it, I started to meet different people in the industry. So I started to meet PRs. I started to meet, like, just different influential people in the industry, especially here in Atlanta. And then it was, hey, you know, do this. Can you do this? Can you help me with this? And it was just like multiple things people like were asking me for because I would put out all my skill sets. Like I really had to put out, when I say hustle, okay, I had to put out everything that I could possibly do out into the market. So whoever needed that service reached out to me. And if I had like 10 different services, 20 different services I would put out there, maybe only 5 of those services would catch. 5, you know, out of those 5 services, people were like, oh, I like this service, I like that service. And that was something that really pushed me to really drive that particular service. So after I got done with photography, I was like, you know what, this is not as creative for me. You know, I want to go further. I want to be more adventurous when it comes to creating. Like when I create something, I want people to literally cry. I want people to feel the emotion in what I'm creating for people. And that's one thing, that I had to learn as well. Like every client, every person that you work with, they're trusting you to create something for them. You have to really understand, you know, what it is that these people are wanting, what they need. So again, going back to communication and networking, I wasn't just like putting stuff out there and getting clients. Like I will actually talk to them. Hey, how are you? You know, get a feel with them. Not just saying, okay, this is my service. This is how much it is, Cash App or Zelle or whatever, and then do it like that. Like I really talk to people and really get to know them. And by my niche, you know, my niche kind of came to me. It was like Black women pretty much. And it was like, what, you know, and coming from the town that I'm from, like we didn't have that support. So it was like all these Black ladies come to me, they want my business and stuff. And it was like, you know, people around me wasn't even supporting me. So for people to actually see what I was doing was like, oh, wow, I like that. You know, that really, it attached to my soul. And it really just twirl me all
There's
around.
always
like,
gonna be
yeah.
people that mess with your wave. Trust me.
Yeah.
You just have to reach out to them, I feel.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's very important to know what your gift is, because by
Mhm.
you saying that, I want people to cry. That's how I felt. I told myself, I'm not dying until I pour out into this world, because I
Yes.
feel like I was sent here for something.
Yeah.
And I be damned, excuse me for my language, I go to my grave with all my talent still in me.
Yes.
So I think that is very important.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I do as far as body sculpting, like I was saying, it's a nakedness to people. You get to, have people just
Be vulnerable.
open up, not even vulnerable, because
Mhm.
it's like opening up. And I feel like I look at it as an opportunity, not for the money or the body sculpting, but it's more so I could tell people my testimony, like,
Yeah.
look, I did this, I want you to do this, and then
Right.
they'll give back, like, yeah, you young, and then it helps me. So it's
Yeah.
like we trade in services.
Yeah,
That's how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
So
Yeah, your clients are always gonna be those kind of like therapy. It's always like a therapy session with
Yeah,
each
it
client
is.
because it's like
It's transactional.
they cry,
Yes,
they
yes.
cry, they hug me, they do
yes,
everything.
and that's the awesome feeling that I love, like just doing anything and being able to just touch somebody, and touch somebody to where it's like, wow, I actually see you. I can touch you without touching you.
Right.
If that makes sense. So yeah, that's what the first year, it was a little rocky, the first 6 months, but developing and just being consistent with it, because I could have stopped. I could have said, okay, forget this. Let me go find a job somewhere. But I was really, even though that was not the business that I ended with, which transferred, like the photography kind of transferred into the marketing and advertising. And that's because so much came with it. So not only was I taking photos for different people, I was creating different like websites, logos, like all kinds of stuff. And then it got into like creating full-on presentations, contracts, like just doing all kinds of random stuff. And I'm like, dang, it ain't nothing that I could not do, okay? Because people always request. And one thing about it is when people see something in you and they feel like you are capable of doing it, they are going to ask or request or, ask, just to see if that's something that you would do or could do. So I've been blessed to how people look and see my skill set and ask me, is this something that you could do? And I'm like, yes, this is something
They
I
just
definitely
scared.
could do.
They scared. And what I said to myself, when a person tell you you can't do something,
Yeah.
I asked them, I say, why you think that? And it's not because I care about their opinions,
Right.
because I want to hear
Wow.
all the reasons why they feel like they can't do it.
Right.
Everything they say that you can't do and they feel like that's why you can't do it is because they can't do it.
Yeah,
And I have
yeah.
to listen like, okay, you got issues.
Yeah,
Thinking I can't do
that's it.
something.
Yes. See, them the type
I
of
can
people
do it
I don't like to be around nobody. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, you better be like, yes, girl.
You better
okay,
be serious.
Don't ask me how I'm gonna do it, because that ain't none of your
No
business.
business. It ain't none of your business. It's none of your
Your
business.
business.
It ain't even your
Right.
own business. Just know it's gonna be done.
Exactly. Yes. All right, y'all. So, could you tell us your Instagram, your social media, and how people can reach out to you?
Absolutely. Once again, it is Comfort in the Storm, and it is Comfort in the Storm on Facebook and also on Instagram. You can reach out to us by email, which is comfortinthestormblog@gmail.com. Or, again, if you just go to our Instagram page, the button to email us is there, or you can direct message us. We do provide trainings for groups of all sizes. We are also providing support and prevention and awareness tips daily. So if you are not able to come to a class, we do encourage you to stay on our social media pages, because we're providing you with all of the information to help you make sure your children are protected. I would like to say to parents and caregivers, it's extremely important that you take this topic very seriously. I know inherently you may think that your children are safe, but 90% of children are sexually abused by someone that they know, love, and or trust. And so that means that there is likely someone in your child's circle that is, a potential predator. And so you need to know what warning signs to look for, and that is essentially what we are providing to you. In addition to that, we do have a nonprofit, which is the Comfort in the Storm Foundation. And right now, we are asking everyone to make us your nonprofit of choice on Amazon. because your everyday purchases, a percentage of those can go to the charity of your choice. And so on our Instagram story, you'll see that I have posted where you can make Comfort in the Storm your charity of choice with Amazon.
Oh,
like
yes,
that.
I like that. You gotta send me that information. I'll definitely post that and promote that because I'm all on Amazon. And if it can go to a nonprofit, like,
Your
I would love
everyday
that.
purchases can fund your local nonprofit.
I love
Right.
that. That's amazing.
I did not know that.
Yay.
It'll be in your inbox as soon as we wrap up.
Okay, yes. Well, I gotta go on there and buy something now. Okay, Olivia.
Again, my name's Olivia Johnson. My Instagram tag is Palm Tree Ollie. That's PalmTreeOli. That's also on Twitter as well. Last thing I want to say is I feel like everyone should educate themselves in every possible way because education is important for everybody to know all around things about themselves, about people around you. I feel like education and educating yourself is important. And also, I want to shout out my boyfriend's brand. He designs clothes. It's called Custom Glory at customglory. You can shop at customglory.com, and the Instagram tag is Custom Glory on Instagram.
Okay, awesome. You said it's a clothing line?
It's a clothing line, yes.
Okay, awesome. That's great.
Yes.
Look, she had to plug her BF real quick. Okay, her
Well, now,
boyfriend.
we support everybody.
Yeah.
I got you. So
Yes.
you guys check that out. It's really nice.
Okay, awesome. Miss Deja.
Oh yeah. We doing Instagram.
So your website and any information.
Okay, so my website is actually under construction. I'm actually changing my payment method, so I won't be taking any Zelle or Cash App. But my Instagram is J_sculpt, SCULPTMEH.
I had a hard time.
Yeah,
trying to,
Jay
like, on all
Scott
the
me.
promo. I was like, look, okay. I
Come
had to
get
go
your
back
booty
and forth.
done. You want a bigger booty, bigger breasts? I got you. Everything is non-surgical, and I say that because people bash women for doing that, and it's like, why? I'm not putting needles. I'm not putting injections. Why? It's like it seems like every time a woman want to do something good for herself, somebody always try to take it.
Yeah.
You're wrong. That you don't even need that. Like, let them do it. It's
Yeah.
a massage. It's nothing
Yeah.
bad. So,
And
Jay,
whatever works for them. Works
Right.
For them.
to each his own. J
Yeah.
Sculpt. It's my page. So.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ladies, again for joining me today.
Thank
Girl,
you.
Let's Talk Atlanta Radio. I appreciate y'all
I
so
wanna
much.
come back.
Yes.
It's
I'm
always a pleasure.
Yes. So shout out to our sponsor again for this segment, Mother Hustler. The brand was created by a mother, Zelinka Boyd. She is the mother of 3. She also has a set of twins. And the whole brand was inspired by her being a true mother hustler, okay? And I've actually connected with her on numerous of occasions, and I'm super excited that she sponsored the show today. But yeah, so her brand is all about her making moves as a mother, and also finding that ground and that common point as well, because I'm a mother of 5, so I know you have to have like a mental, like really on your stuff as a mother, and when trying to have a business and trying to build and doing a lot of things. So check out I'm gonna pull up her Instagram right now. But Mother Hustler is her brand. She has branded t-shirts, and she also has a manifestation journal as well. So if that's something that you would like to look into, definitely check out Mama Z and her 3 on Instagram, and her brand is Mother Hustler, the brand. Check out what she has to offer to help you mommies out there, you millennial moms out there that might need a little extra help. And rep the brand because you are a mother hustler, okay? And then our next sponsor is the Millennial Boss Babe Expo. So the Millennial Boss Babe Expo is actually an event that's hosted by Girl Let's Talk Atlanta. And this event was created by me, of course. I created this event because I really wanted to, again, connect with millennials. I wanted to connect with those millennials in business, and I wanted to provide an opportunity and a common place for everyone to network. So the Millennial Boss Babe Expo is November 21st. It is sold out. I'm super excited about that. Everything's sold out. Vendor, tickets, everything is sold out. And that was like right after, because I have been promoting it like all year. But like when my page got shot down, I was like, oh my God, how in the world I'm going to do this with this event that I just put out? And, you know, I already had a few sponsors, but like as of the past like 3 weeks, everything just kind of transpired. And I was like, look at God, because I stayed committed. I said, you know what? This is going to happen. So the Millennial Boss Babe Expo, it will feature several vendors, several millennial vendors who have different businesses. I'm all about supporting, you know, that hustle, that business. So that's November the 21st. I will be probably streaming it as well, just because it is sold out. And I think, you know, with the corona at the location, we had to have a cap on it and stuff like that. So I wanted to have more people, but because of the number of people that we could have in the building, I had to cut it off. But yeah, so vendors, and then we have a millennial panel as well. So I have, I think it was like 4 or 5 women, millennials, that will be speaking on the panel. So they will be empowering and encouraging and motivating as well. So I'm super excited about that. And I do believe that everybody that's a part of this sold out event, I have not met, only 2 of them. So this is going to be exciting for me. You know, a lot of people always ask me, like, when you produce these events, how do you feel going into these events and you don't know none of these people and you got all this, you know? And at the end of the day, I feel amazing because I made it happen and I connected, you know, all these women. And then one last element that I did add into the Millennial Boss Babe Expo was doing a scenic photo shoot. So I seen the photo with Angela Bassett, I think it was Taraji P. Henson, Mary J. Blige, and a few other ladies. It was like some Tyler Perry type thing or something. I don't know what it was, but I seen the photo and I was like, oh, this will be dope. I want to recreate this scene. So I was like, okay, I can do that at the Boss Babe Millennial. So it's going to be a scenic photo shoot as well. So we're going to do 5 scenes, 5 different sets. So it's going to be like 3 different photos and different poses and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, it's going to be cute. I was like, dang, like, how did I just like, okay. So I'm working on that. I'm excited about that. So the Millennial Boss Babe Expo, and this will be something that will be annually. And when I first started Girl Let's Talk Atlanta, I used to host like several events throughout each month. But going into the new year, I am going to focus on production and film. So I'm not going to host a lot of events, but I do have these main events. So Millennial Boss Babe will be one of the annual events. And then also our last sponsor for today is the Film Shop Network. The Film Shop Network is a network that is similar to QVC, but it's Black owned for Black women. So if you have like products or services, anything that you want to showcase on the network, that's available at the Film Shop Network. So y'all follow the Film Shop Network on Instagram, and that is another one of my, you know, my adventures. Because like I wanted, like every time I go on QVC, I'm like, oh my God, it looks so boring. Like I just want to add some type of pizzazz, some type of like, you know, extraness into it and make people want to turn on the TV and want to say, okay, I want to shop with them. They look like they got their stuff together. So that's kind of what the network is, you know, for us, by us, and it's encouraging, you know, because a lot of the times when people get booked to do like vending events and stuff like that, a lot of these vendors don't even know how their product works. They don't know how to talk about their product and descriptive and stuff like that. So this also allows them to learn how to really sell your product to a market that you have no idea about. So check out the Film Shop Network on Instagram. Millennial Boss Babe Expo is November 21st. It is sold out. The only reason why I'm saying it is because it is sold out. And the next, Mother Hustler. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I appreciate you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yes.